what's up internet? This is Rafael from Hardware Sugar, and these are the top 7 things you didn't know about the S21 Ultra. I know a charger doesn't come in the box. What I wasn't quite prepared for was this. I know what a USB-C is, but to me, this is a USB-C from hell. I don't have a charger compatible with this. I am upgrading from a Galaxy Note 9, which was released in August 2018, so I'm not exactly coming from the Stone Age. Ordinarily, people wait 2 or 3 years before upgrading, so I would like to think that I represent the majority of those who pre-order. The charger that came with my Note 9 2 years is USB-C, but the end which connects to the adapter is the classic USB connector. I gathered all the chargers I've acquired over the past 3 years as well as my most recent power bank, and, well, you get my point. I can of course just disregard the cable altogether and use what I already have, but it makes me wonder why Samsung even bothered. Like, does the 25-watt charger which is sold separately not have a cable? Because it seems like it does. So if you do opt to get the faster charger, in the end, you will still have a spare cable which can't be used by itself unless you buy a component to match it. Which goes against their purpose in not giving a charger to begin with, which is to reduce waste. I finally discovered that my PC had a USB-C port, so if you have a relatively recent motherboard, you could use the cable there instead in case you want to move files over to your PC. This isn't a deal breaker of course, but it's something to keep in mind if you're a loyal Samsung cell phone user from a couple of years ago and realize that almost all the adapters are no longer compatible with the cable which comes in the box. You know that film that you peel off which is really satisfying? There's actually a second screen protector right underneath it. At first, I was like, okay cool, extra protection. In fact, you can clearly see it when you look at the camera punch-out because the protective covering folds on the sides if you touch it. You can quite literally feel the edges of the screen protector when you swipe down from the very top. In short, there is a noticeable abrasive feel when you touch the immediate sides of the screen, which removes you from the premium experience. It's quite irritating to be frank, and if you are coming from a Note 9 which has a smooth curved screen all throughout, that rough texture on the S21 Ultra caused by a screen protector that I didn't attach cheapens the experience. Thankfully, if you wear a case, you won't notice it so much because cases usually have a lip which prevent you from touching the immediate sides of the screen. Speaking about charging, because the S21 Ultra has a 5000 mAh battery, it is a hungry beast. It has a big stomach to fill, but because it doesn't come with the intended 25-watt charger, I'm using my 15-watt Samsung chargers, one of which came with my phone and the other I picked up at the Samsung store 2 years back, so I could charge in different places. With Wi-Fi on while charging, I got from 0 to 30% in 30 minutes. My Note 9 can get to 50% within the same period. Back to the S21 Ultra, I finally got to 50% after an entire hour. In short, you can expect going from 0 to 100% in 2 hours, which for most might be a lifetime. If you are using a 15-watt Samsung charger, which again, most people will be using because people usually upgrade from 2 or 3-year-old phones. You would think that because the S21 Ultra has a 5000 mAh battery, that it would blow away the battery life of my Note 9's 4000 mAh battery. This, however, does not seem to be the case. The S21 Ultra has the option for a higher resolution and a maximum refresh rate of 120 FPS, but the Note 9 and all iPhones only work on 60 FPS. The problem is that if you are using the S21 Ultra with maxed out resolution and even with adaptive refresh rate, it left my unit dead only after 6 hours with medium usage. I tried again and only ended up with 8 hours after light to medium usage. I am at home using Wi-Fi and haven't used my data yet, thus this should have actually extended my battery. In short, my 2-year-old Note 9 lasts a little longer than my brand new S21 Ultra. This is a far cry from what most YouTubers are saying that they get, which is a full day or 1.5 days worth of battery life. Nevertheless, I wanted to call your attention to the fact that the higher refresh rate of 120 frames and the WQHD resolution takes a big hit on the battery of the phone. This should also serve as a warning to those considering the S21 and S21 Plus, which don't have adaptive refresh rate. The S21's haptic feedback feels to be even more satisfying than that of older models. I'm not sure how this stands out from other Android phones, but the S21's feedback is definitely more crisp than my Note 9, which at the time I thought was already very satisfying to begin with. I made sure I maxed out the haptic feedback on my Note 9 and S21 Ultra. There is no real way to capture the feel of a vibration through the camera, so you'll just have to try it out for yourselves in person. Nevertheless, I think this is an under-the-radar but well-appreciated upgrade which most reviews haven't given spotlight to. The screen is also much more pressure accurate. I wouldn't say that it is more pressure sensitive because that creates the illusion that it takes in unwanted presses, like possible butt dialing. Rather, there is a noticeable faster response time when I press buttons on the S21 Ultra. I use a slow motion video mode to try and get it on film. If you look closely, the Note 9 ripple animation lasts longer the moment my finger lifts off from the phone. This is because of the slighter delay in response. Unfortunately, I didn't have a third camera at the time, so I used the S21 to shoot the Note 9 and the Note 9 to shoot the S21. A more scientific approach would have been to have one camera shoot the two of them. Nevertheless, the more reactive screen and stronger haptic feedback are both things you should keep in mind if you get a chance to drop by a store which has the S21 on display. Finally, the S21 Ultra is getting a lot of praise from its ability to zoom in 100 times with the help of its 10x scope. Here are some of the photos I took while couch sniping. I thought it was a gimmick, but honestly, it's pretty darn cool and clear. It didn't occur to me that the 100 times zoom would not carry over to the video mode. Video mode only goes up to 10 times, which is not me criticizing Samsung, but rather me just pointing out that the 100 times zoom only applies to photography mode and not video. So, in conclusion, I don't think these reasons are enough to justify not buying the S21 Ultra, but these are nevertheless irritants which a consumer should know before they spend that much money on a flagship phone. I highly recommend that you get the 25-watt adapter, whether it be now or in the next couple of months, because 2 hours to get a full charge is, maybe I'm being nitpicky, however, that might be too long for most people on the go. And the reason as to why I got a Note 9 to begin with was because I loved the battery life. And I loved the battery life even until the end when I finally switched to the S21. And it's really kind of depressing that I feel like I'm going backwards when it comes to battery life with the new S21 Ultra. In fact, my own Note 9, which I'm actually using to videotape myself right now, I think lasts longer than the S21 Ultra with its regular usage. Stay tuned for our other videos about the S21 Ultra. We still haven't released our full review, and we're taking our time with it just so that I make sure that I'm not repeating the same things that other reviewers are saying about it. To be honest, I've already discovered certain things about it which weren't also covered in their reviews.